Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I know I said I wasn't going to upload one today and there wouldn't be a video till Monday, but I posted about this series on Facebook and got a ton of positive feedback, so I added more videos to the schedule and had to bump this one up. As you already know, today we're talking about curving roofs in The Sims 4. I thought that this shape would be a good one to start with because we can get two very different styles simply by how we're going to curve the roof and then wallpaper and whatever. But I thought we'd go with something a little bit more on the homey cottage side, and then we'll change up the curve of the roof to do something more on the dark, mysterious, maybe vampire side. So first off, how do you actually curve a roof in The Sims 4? We went over it briefly in our how to use the roofing tool in The Sims 4 video, but today we're going to go a little bit more in depth onto how to curve the roof and then what you can do once you've curved it. To start, you can see these little floating balls. This is how you start to curve the roof, so just something like that would be a nice sort of barn roof shape, but you can go even further by pressing Shift and C, and then you'll have even more little floating balls and you can do even more fun curves with these. So for this one, I'm going to bring this one all the way up, bring this up a touch, and then bring these up to flare those eaves a tad, and let's just scooch this down a bit. So you can see we have a nice curved roof, and if we grab this nifty cottage living trim and paint texture, you can see where this is turning into a nice little cottage roof. So when you're doing a curved roof, I highly recommend starting with one piece and then copying it over to all the other places you want that roof shape, because trying to replicate the shape across the roof pieces is going to be very difficult. But if you do have to replicate it, like here, where I want to use a hipped roof for the top, select the roof, Shift C, and then you're just going to have to be a little bit finicky with how you're getting the curve to line up. That looks like it lines up pretty well, but let's test it by adding the texture. And you can see that there's still a little bit of a gap there. I think we should be able to fix that by simply holding Alt and dragging this down. There we go. So that blends in just fine. Oh, almost forgot the roof trim. And there we go. There's a nice little curved cottage roof. Let's go ahead and finish up the rest of this. I'm going to copy this piece to place here. And then for the porch, I think I'm just going to go with a classic half gable. Now on the back of the build, we're going to do something a little bit different. Grab that half gabled roof again, make sure it's to size, and then we're actually going to work to line this up to create a whole connecting roof sort of thing. Because this is curved, we will have to fix the curve, so be very careful. But basically what you're looking for is for this white highlighted portion, I'm just pointed at the screen with my finger, but that's not going to help. When the roof is highlighted, you want it to be just solid, so you see how it's just coming through there? And that should line that up just fine. And you can of course adjust the curve elsewhere on the roof as well. But then you can see how adjusting this roof to match up with this one gives it pretty close to seamless. You can spend as much or as little time on this as you want to get it to line up properly. And there you can see how just a little bit of paint and windows and all that jazz will finish this build right off and you'll have a lovely little cottage. But what if you don't want a cottage? What if you want something a little bit spookier? Well then, let's start back here. Press Shift C again to get all these extra controls, and this time we're going to bring the pitch up, bring this in slightly, bring this out slightly, and then bring this up slightly. So you can see we've got a little bit of a squiggly curve going there. You could also take this even more dramatic and bring this down. That's kind of fun as well. So let's take this shape and bring it down to size and basically do the same thing we just did with the cottage shape, except this is going to give us a whole different vibe for this build. To do this part of the build, I'm actually going to take this same roof shape again, copy it, bring it to size, and then bring the pitch down, pushing this even by pressing Shift to get that shape instead. We can go for covering the rest of the roof again like we did with the cottage. Now if you really want this to line up, what you're going to have to do is press Shift and pull this back, press Shift and pull this back, hold Alt to make sure that your roof is at the right angle. You want this wall to line up with this wall, and then we are going to very carefully adjust the curve of this roof to follow through with the curve that we have established already. Does it look a little weird? Sure. Is it fun? Of course. Another option would be to simply eliminate this eave and then bring this down a touch. There we go. I actually like that one better. I think I'll leave it like that. And of course, with a little bit of paint and windows and all that jazz, you have completely changed the vibe of this exact same shape. I hope you enjoyed learning how to curve roofs in The Sims 4. I will be releasing a new roofing video every single day this month, so if learning how to curve roofs was cool, you are going to love what's coming out the rest of this month. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if any of this content was useful, check out the top card for the playlist of all the other short tutorials I've done on this channel more recently, and check out the bottom card for the playlist of all of the roofing videos I've done on The Sims 4. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.